Have you ever considered the possibility that a habit could completely change the way your brain works? Well, it may come as a surprise, but social media can do just that. But how exactly does this happen? Andrew Huberman sheds some light on the matter. The idea that social media can rewire our brains has gained increasing attention in recent years as more and more people spend significant amount of time on platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. While the internet and social media have brought many positive benefits, there is a growing concern about the impact they may be having on our mental health and well-being. At the heart of this concern is the idea that social media can alter our brain's function. Our brains are incredibly adaptable, constantly changing in response to our experiences and behaviors. This is known as neuroplasticity, meaning how we use our brains can profoundly impact their structure and function. So, how does social media fit into this picture? According to Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist at Stanford University, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and a video is worth 1,000 pictures. This is especially true regarding our use of social media. Social media can trigger the release of dopamine in our brains, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. But how does this happen? Let's break it down. Have you ever mindlessly scrolled through social media, seeking the next dopamine hit? That sense of excitement and anticipation when you receive a like, comment, or share on your post. According to Andrew Huberman, dopamine is at the heart of our addiction to social media. When we first log on to social media or take a break from it, our brains are flooded with dopamine. It's like a surge of pleasure and reward that keeps us returning for more. This dopamine rush is about novelty, surprise, and the thrill of something new and exciting. It puts us in a state of readiness, anticipation, and seeking, all in pursuing that next dopamine hit. And here's the thing. Dopamine isn't just about what's happening inside our bodies. It's about what's going on outside too. We're constantly seeking the rush of dopamine from things outside the confines of our skin. We're looking for validation from others, social connections, and a sense of belonging. That's why social media can be a powerful dopamine addiction tool. It's a constant source of novelty, surprise, and social connection. He says, when we experience something pleasurable or rewarding, such as receiving likes, comments, or shares on our social media posts, our brain releases dopamine, creating a sense of gratification and satisfaction. This release of dopamine can create a powerful addiction to social media. Constantly navigating and scrolling through different pictures and videos on social media platforms can trigger and stimulate the brain, leading to a dopamine rush. This can create a feedback loop where we become increasingly dependent on social media for our sense of pleasure and reward. This is what Huberman describes as obsessive-compulsive behavior. Our obsession with dopamine and its pleasure leads to compulsion. So the obsession is a thought, and the compulsion is a behavior. That's where we do something without any purpose to get the feeling of satisfaction, that dopamine rush. And yes, this can have a serious effect on our decision-making process. Regarding our decision-making process, social media can have a significant impact. The dopamine rush we experience when we receive likes and positive feedback on our posts can influence the content we create and the actions we take online. For example, we may be more likely to post provocative or attention-grabbing content to increase our likes and followers, even if this content doesn't align with our true values or beliefs. However, the dopamine rush we experience from social media can also have negative consequences. When we don't receive likes or positive feedback on our posts, for example, our brain may experience a decrease in dopamine levels, leading to feelings of disappointment, anxiety, and even depression. This can create a sense of pressure to constantly post new and engaging content to maintain a steady flow of positive feedback and dopamine. Huberman further explained that constant brain stimulation through social media could lead to a lack of focus and concentration. Our brains become accustomed to the constant dopamine rush, making focusing on more mundane or less stimulating tasks harder. As a result, when we try to focus on more mundane or less stimulating tasks, our brains may crave the same level of dopamine release that social media provides. This craving can create a sense of restlessness and distractibility, making it harder to concentrate on tasks that require sustained attention and effort. This lack of focus and concentration can lead to a decreased productivity and overall well-being. If we're unable to stay focused on our work or personal tasks, we may feel frustrated, anxious, or overwhelmed. Moreover, we may not be able to accomplish as much as we'd like, leading to feelings of inadequacy or dissatisfaction. To combat the negative effects of constant brain stimulation through social media, It's important to take regular breaks and engage in other activities that provide a different kind of stimulation. This could include exercise, spending time in nature, or engaging in hobbies that require sustained attention and focus. This is one of the measures Andrew Huberman takes to ensure that levels of dopamine remain constant and do not cross the threshold level. Speaking of getting our brain rewired, Huberman explains that over time, this repeated release of dopamine could lead to changes in our brains as our neurons adapt to the presence of the neurotransmitter. Specifically, the connections between neurons can become stronger or weaker depending on the frequency and intensity of dopamine release. This process, known as synaptic plasticity, can ultimately change how our brains are wired. One of the potential consequences of this rewiring is the development of addictive behaviors. When we become accustomed to the regular release of dopamine through social media use, we may find ourselves seeking out these rewards more and more often, leading to compulsive and potentially harmful behavior. This can lead to feelings of anxiety, depression, and social isolation, as well as problems with concentration, memory, and cognitive processing. Another potential impact of social media on the brain, as Andrew Huberman explains, is the development of brain fog, or reduced mental clarity. Spending excessive time on social media can overload our brains with information, leading to fatigue and difficulty focusing. This can lead to various problems, from decreased productivity at work or school to a general sense of malaise and dissatisfaction with life. It's also important to recognize the effect of social media on our self-esteem and sense of self-worth. Social media platforms are often populated with carefully curated images and posts, presenting an idealized reality. This can create a sense of pressure to present ourselves in a certain way, leading to feelings of inadequacy or insecurity when we compare ourselves to others. Research has shown frequent social media use is associated with higher anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem, particularly among young people. This is partly because social media can create a social comparison effect, where we compare ourselves to others and feel worse about ourselves. This can be exacerbated by filters, editing tools, and other techniques that allow users to enhance or alter their appearance, leading to unrealistic expectations and standards. Since social media has undoubtedly revolutionized how we interact with one another, offering us the ability to stay connected with friends, family, and even strangers from all corners of the world, however, concerns have arisen about the impact social media can have on our ability to form deep and meaningful relationships. One of the primary issues with social media is that it often prioritizes attention-grabbing content over deep, nuanced conversations. Social media platforms are designed to keep us engaged for as long as possible, and they do this by presenting us with a constant stream of bite-sized content that is easy to consume and share. While this can be great for keeping up with current events, it can also lead to a sense of superficiality in our interactions. When we rely on social media to communicate with others, our conversations lack the depth and substance that we expect from face-to-face interaction. We may also find that we are less likely to form close bonds with others, as we are less likely to share personal information and experiences on social media than in a more intimate setting. Social media has a dark side that can be as addictive as gambling. The tragedy and drama that unfold on our screens have a powerful pull on our emotions, making us crave the next dopamine hit, even though we have no idea when it will come. It's like a vicious cycle of reward, surprise, and excitement that quickly turns into obsessive-compulsive behavior. If we were to observe ourselves from an outsider's perspective, we would be appalled by our behavior, digging through endless posts and notifications like a dog digging for a bone in the corner. As Huberman explains, social media addiction is a sickness that has taken hold of us, and we are unwilling participants in this cruel experiment. Despite these potential negative impacts, it's important to remember that social media can also positively affect our mental health and well-being. For example, social media can help us stay connected with friends and family, find support and encouragement from others, and discover new information and perspectives. The key is to find a balance that works for us, allowing us to enjoy the benefits of social media while avoiding the potential downsides. Thanks for watching! Did you like this video? Then show your support by subscribing, ringing the bell, and enabling notifications to never miss videos like this. Thank you! Ready to conquer NoFap? Grab our digital NoFap guide now! End your porn addiction, skyrocket your self-esteem, and achieve your goals. Packed with proven techniques, expert advice, and relapse prevention tricks. Click the link below and break free today.